You see Grand Champion Rockomania, you see the impact he's made. You see Grand Champion Samson and the impact he's made. And then you see last year's winner in Grand Champion Blue. Based on the trajectory of the breed, based on the bone, based on the look, based on the cachet on what the ABKC wants the American Bully breed to be, who I feel will win based on those elements this year will be Grand Champion Zero Barks Given. So did my original prediction come to fruition? So initially I said in the previous video in my predictions leading up into the show that I felt that Zero Barks Given was gonna win best of breed and best of show. And what was my ideology behind that? Well, first off, it's the amount of time that they spent showing the ABKC show ring and the level of dog that he was. Now, when you factor in last year, he competed at such a high level and he actually went toe to toe with Blue. It was just his time coming and I really felt that way. And if you actually saw the show, like I was watching the live, they knew who they wanted to win. And the judge was looking at Zero Barks Given the whole time. And when you factor in the bone, the dome, the type of body that he has, his conformation along with his breed type, it was simply a no-brainer to go with Zero Barks Given as the head guy. And he actually did win. And you know, like I said, he showed fantastic. And I know a lot of people are going to be criticizing him for having a cooling pad on him. I do feel like that was a precautionary thing to make sure that Zero was at full force when he went to go show. Because if you guys aren't aware of this, he lost to Grand Champion Hangman earlier in the year. And I felt like that was more of a precautionary thing that they wanted to do to make sure that Zero was good to go every time he was in front of the judge. So as far as my sleeper pick, Grand Champion Hangman, he was as advertised in the ring. He showed amazing. He had the best movement in Grand Champion class. His conformation was elite. And the thing that I felt held him back from winning and taking it all was simply put that he didn't have as much breed type as the other dog and especially as Zero, but that's because he's still a puppy. I still feel like Grand Champion Hangman's year is coming up and I believe it's coming up next year. Once he starts popping a little bit more and developing into that frame, he's gonna be a terror to deal with in the ring. When you look at that rear movement, and I explained it in detail in the previous video, when you saw this boy move, this boy was gliding out there. The best movement, the best conformation, and his head is absolutely amazing. So when you factor in what that boy brings to the table, you understand what that boy has and what he's bringing to the table. You know his run is coming. For those of you that were not watching live, a lot of people felt that way, that Grand Champion Hangman was the best dog in Grand Champion class. And this is no knock on any of the other Grand Champions. If you saw that Grand Champion class, you saw heavyweights going at it. And it was such an amazing sight to see these dogs all in one ring, exchanging punches blow for blow. And when I tell you, just to see the way these dogs were shown, it was simply incredible. And you know, when you saw the way Grand Champion Hangman showed, you understood that this boy is simply incredible. Now listen, we understood why he couldn't compete with Zero Barks Given. The amount of time that boy put in the ring this year, his breed type, right? And his conformation. He has a great handler, probably one of the best in the ABKC ring, right? And he put in work all year long. So it was a very tough task for him to come in, you know, not being as well known and trying to compete and take off the top dog from this year, right? And that's 100 best of breed wins that he was going up against. So obviously, you know, it's very difficult to ask that dog to win. So now that I got that out of the way, I initially wanted to cover all of the winners from every class, but I felt like it was much more time efficient to talk about the winners from champion class. And I don't have some of the information on the champions specifically because, like I said, I wanted to get this video out in a very timely fashion, considering the fact the show just occurred on Saturday. So I wanted to get this out in as speedy of a time as I could. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna be covering the trend. So first up, we have the champion standard winner, which was Lou MFK. He is produced by Char Bullies. He is a Rockomania's son. And for those of you that are not too familiar with the blood, Rockomania is a bad dude, and we understand the impact that he's had within the pocket community specifically, and that standard community. So when you look at him and you look at the trend, look at Liu Kang. Heavy bone, thick dome, wide chest, correct feet. Look at this boy, because this is the trend that was set. Now, I don't have the champion pocket that won. I don't have the information. What I do have is the pocket that went on a crazy run. His name is King Kong. He was produced by Muscle Tone Bullies. And if you saw this boy Kong was as extreme as you could get him. Widespread, thick bone, thick neck, muscled up everywhere, nice dome piece, thick all over. Now, for me personally, and I'm just gonna be 100% honest, the dog for me did not move as fast as I would like it. And for me personally, when he was in the best of winners class, I would have went with the standard. It was a chocolate standard that was incredible, that gave me a lot of Grand Champion Hangman vibes, and he didn't win, but that's the trend. Kong ended up going over him, and when you see Kong, this boy is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna say specifically, this boy had the wow factor. When I was watching the live and I saw Kong get into the ring, I said, this boy is a bad dude. I had to go like this to my wife. Yo, hon, you see that dog right there? That's King Kong. He champed out at the show, and he was primed to go on a big run. Like, once he cleared best of winners, I even caught myself saying, damn, I think he could potentially go all of the way. And the reason for that is specifically because of the trend, what the ABKC wants. So up next, we have XL Champion Jock, and he was produced by Golden Armor Bullies. He was the XL that was moved up. And when you see him, he is a nice looking dog. But when you compare him and the breed type compared to the Pocket, the Standard, and the Classic, you can see why specifically, you know, a lot of people in the community don't want to view the XL as part of the breed, and they want to make it its own separate breed. But I think he's a very nice looking dog, and he for sure showed very, very well. I was tuned in, I was locked in, and congratulations to you for moving up on the show. Up next, the Classic Champion. I don't have the information for the Classic Champion. I apologize. I tried getting the information. Like I said, I tried to get this in a very timely order, but I could not get any of the information that was needed for me to specifically give you the detailed description that I wanted to. Now, with that being said, Grand Champion class, they all were fantastic, as I explained earlier, right? But it was a given. Zero Barks Given was gonna win, though a lot of people, and including myself, felt Grand Champion Hangman showed the best and should have been the winner. Grand Champion Zero was your winner, and listen, simply put, this boy won 100 best of breed wins. Let's get that out there. 100 best of breed wins for the American Bully. Simply put, that dog was not losing on the biggest stage. You cannot have your top dog losing to a dog like, for example, King Kong. Why is that? King Kong just literally went into the show, champed out at Nationals, and went on a crazy run. So, you know, a lot of people talk about politics and it being involved. Listen, just call a spade a spade. Zero was not losing, given the magnitude of what he meant for the ABKC community all year long. So he ends up being your winner, and he ended up winning best in show. But with that being said, that was the trend. And for those of you that are not too familiar with the ABKC, if you haven't shown recently, this is the trend. Bullier dogs are gonna win. It was said in an interview by Dave Wilson, in an interview with Cinema Bullies, where he explained that breed type is much more important than conformation. So if you have a dog that could have great conformation but is showing terrier traits, that is not showing bully traits, and what I mean by bully traits, I'm talking about bone, spread, deep chest drop, wide neck, big head, wide back. They show a lot of muscle, they're compact, and they have muscle around the entirety of the body. We're talking about bullier traits, bulldog traits. And go figure, look at what Dax has contributed to the community, and look at what's being pushed now. So let's get that out there. The bullier dogs are gonna win. That was the trend. Look at these dogs right here. Look at how extreme they are. Look at the traits that they have. They're absolutely impressive. These dogs are what the involvement of the breed is. This is what the ABKC wants. They don't want a dog to win that resembles the body type from 2004. We are in the year 2022, going into the year 2023, and they want the breed to evolve. That's what it is. So for those of you, including myself, right, because I've had my concerns and I voiced my opinion because I felt like Ghost wasn't given a fair shake, even though he has a little bit less type, a little bit less bone, but he has fantastic conformation. I felt from the totality aspect of the dog on completeness, I felt my dog could have at least placed in top 4 a couple times, and he wasn't even looked at. So given the fact that I know that, right, from my experience, right, and you see the trend, there was dogs that moved great, that had good breed type. They weren't as extreme as the other dogs, but they were passed up. So let's get this out there, right? Because a lot of you are wondering, just like me, why aren't these dogs losing, the ones that have more breed type? Well, specifically, this is what was said. This is what they want the breed to become. So instead of us just always questioning it, let's just be 100% real. The reality is that a dog that is bullier is a dog that's winning. That's breed involvement. So this isn't just over the past 2 years. Look at the trajectory of the breed over the last 7 to 8 years. This is where the breed is going. So a lot of people may not agree with that, but listen, to not be like me, understand what the ABKC is. If you don't got mass, bone, and extreme traits in your program, you can either add it or go to UKC to show for the confirmation end, because that is where the dog that has the best movement, the best confirmation is gonna win in UKC. And ABKC is not happening. Now, I'm not saying that it won't happen, it's not a factor. I feel like confirmation is being looked at when you specifically get into grand champion class, because that's when you have dogs that are a lot alike in breed type, right? And that's where the winners ultimately determined. Okay, everybody, so that wraps up the video. Hope that each and every single one of you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Check off the bell notification icon to become part of the family. And with that being said, I hope that each and every single one of you enjoyed the Nationals. Now, I didn't want to do this video to be a Debbie Downer, but I wanted this video to be done in a way where people could become aware and educated of what's going on here. And, you know, realistically, us as the people in the community, we cannot complain when our dogs are not getting picked, when we don't have specifically what they're looking for, you know? So with that being said, I hope that each and every single one of you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed your day. I hope you enjoyed the Nationals. And let us know in the comments what you specifically think. Am I a little bit too over the top, or am I right on the money? And like I said, I'm speaking from my experience. So that wraps up the video. Have a good one, y'all.
Speedy, baby.